Hey everybody, we're out here at the Kern River on private property. I'm about to go dig for some gold. I gotta go upstream a little bit from where I am. Here's my view. And we're gonna take the kayak up there. Here's my kayak. I'm taking upstream, my backpack, my gear, sluice box. Made it up to my spot here. You can see behind me, the river's pretty nice. Nice little rapid, a choke point, inside bend, outside bend. Let me spin you around here and show you what I'm looking at. So here's the spot where I'm gonna be parked for the day. Made a little dam right here for my sluice box. Of course, my kayak and my gear. Let me take you around, show you guys my little shady area with a nice little choke point for my sluice box to run. Worked yesterday, and I'm sure it'll work today. I'll show you where I'm digging next. And over here a little bit. And where I dropped this big rock in here. Found a little bit of gold. I wanted more, something better with my sluice box running. So poked around over there. As you can see, the river is coming down this way. We got bedrock all up on here. This is all bedrock. Then we have a bunch of boulders. And I found a spot yesterday that I tested with just my V-matting on my sluice box. Instead of doing a PAM, just ran one 5-gallon bucket from in here. And right in here under this big boulder, found some pretty good gold. I have a little more I can clean out of there. And then I'm going to move to this spot over here, which is right above it. But it looks like there's a lot of good gravels. If you can see it, it's kind of hard to tell. But it has some cobbles. They're not laid in there flat, but they seem to be jammed in there, not packed, because it's all flood gold. But we'll see what we get. See you in a bit. Here's another spot. So the spot I'm going to try next, right here. But I brought my digging bar today, and I'm going to try to move a couple boulders and see what's behind this, because as you can see, we're running this way, but the current is running that way, coming down. So I'm thinking behind here and underneath there might be a spot worth using my digging bar for. If not, we'll use it somewhere. Some of these boulders free right here. Hope for the best. Oh yeah. So I just moved these guys on what? This one, and this one. Let's see if there's anything in here. A bunch of leaves, but we'll see. I'll dig it out later and check it out. All right, so we're right here. I've got 3 of these 5-gallon buckets full from that spot where I moved those boulders. Didn't look like good material. I don't think it was, but I ran some deeper anyways. Have a couple little specks of gold in here if you can see them. It's hard to tell, obviously. I don't have a good camera. But looks like 1, 2. Where'd they go? 1, 2. I've seen one up here that had fallen. 3. Maybe that's a rock. Yeah, there's the 3rd one. Seen a couple fall down into the sluice box. I'm sure it caught it. This thing catches gold really well, so. But I'm going to do a clean out and get back with you guys with the results. And then I'll move spots to the first spot I mentioned. See you in a bit. Alrighty, got my pan ready. Just gonna do a little quick pan. I'm sure I'll lose a little bit of gold, but that's okay. Alright, let's try this one-handed, see what happens. There's a speck. I'll get back with you in a sec. Well, here's what I got. Roughly 3 buckets. Easy digging, fast digging. Not what I was hoping for, but by the look of the material, it was junk. So we got a couple little flakes in here. I mean, you know, looks like a really good test pan. But it didn't take long, so we'll hit a better hole and get back with you guys in a minute. Alright, so here's where I moved those first boulders. Got some of the dirt, maybe bucket and a half, and then moved right next to this. It was a like nice little hole, probably better, but that was my first run I showed you earlier for my sluice box. And I'm going to move to the original spot. I'll come back to this later if I run out of spots. Not that good at gold, but we're going to try this spot right here with all this stuff and hope it has something good in there. There's some cobbles, big and small. Probably smaller when I get down lower, which is just over the hill from yesterday's haul, which was a lot better. So didn't get any of that filmed, but today I hope I can get a good haul for you and see what happens. I'm going to try to move this boulder. It's long and awkward, but it's moving. See if I can get under it a little bit to get more of this once I get going. Probably won't be able to move it today by myself, but maybe if I move some of this stuff, I don't know. We'll see. I'll show you when I get stuff moved. It looks good under there though. I got my sluice box running. It's fast or slow. I don't know. This thing, it seems to catch gold no matter what. But I'll show you a scoop. I won't go through a long video of running it because boring. But here's a scoop. I know I should run it wet, and I did that yesterday. Compared to dry, it seemed to catch about the same. So that's my sluice box set up. A little dam to slow it down because it was running way too fast. And my bucket of material. I love the Kern River. There's a hawk right here just whistling. So amazing. So after 2 buckets, the V-matting is looking pretty good from that one hole that I moved to. So I might be trying to move that big long boulder after all. But just the V-matting here, you can see it's much better than the first 3 buckets from the other hole. Those pieces look big. I'm zoomed in. They're tiny. Don't worry. Let me get it back and unzoom. And this is what we've got. See right there? Not a bad little line. And I know this guy catches some, so we'll see what happens next. Let me snap a picture for you. So I'm going to do one more bucket. So it'll be my 3rd bucket of this run. Get changed. Go for a swim in the beautiful killer Kern River. And then do my clean out and have lunch. But here's what I'm digging in. And I'm sure this is not the best part of the spots, but you can see here some rocks and boulders. Kind of hard with the shade. Here's a long boulder I might attempt to move, because this rock seems like a natural riffle right here. You can see this little ledge. This face on this ledge. And I think the better gold is going to be right here. And if it's better than what I've just got, I'm going to be a happy man. In case y'all are wondering, I do not classify my material, and I even keep some of the smaller rocks and stones because this river fluctuates, and around me here there's no small boulders or stones to dam up and adjust my sluice. So I keep a stockpile here out of my bucket, and of course I try to wash the rocks off first. There's gold stuck to them. And I can adjust my flow on my sluice box, even when the river's up higher, down lower. Those are important little stones, so I don't mind carrying them in my bucket. That's for my classification. So when I say I'm going to swim, I don't mean swim, because I am, one, afraid of the Kern River, and two, respect it. So I find little holes like this one where I can just kind of sit down and dip and cool off. Doesn't really fix the taste, but you don't get sick, and it tastes pretty good out of this river, luckily. So. Oh yeah, Kern River water. All right, so I let the sluice box run while I took a dip, and we're gonna clean it out now into this bucket. I don't have a tripod or anything to put my camera on, so probably won't be able to show you. It's pretty easy. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'll get it one day if you guys want. Let me know. Leave a comment, and we'll figure it out. But for now, I'll show you the cleanup after 3 buckets. Well, it's all super fine gold, of course, but this pan was a lot better than my other pan. So let's take a look here. A little bit, and then up in here, there's a few pieces. A lot better than the first 3 buckets, and I know I washed a lot back too. I just did a quick one so we can see. So there's that though. Let's see if I can get a little more exposed for you here before I snuffer it up and put it with my concentrates. Not too bad. So I came out here the other night kind of unexpectedly, so I didn't bring the best things for lunch, and I do like to eat. But for now, this is just fine. I got a tortilla, some string cheese, and some lunch meat, and I'll just roll it up into a little taquito thing and call it good. One thing I've learned about myself that I haven't been doing is when I get digging and excited and stuff, I don't take a lot of breaks, and I end up working and getting tired, and at the end of the day I get back to camp and then I don't want to do much. So I'm taking me a nice little break right here on this beautiful rock on this chair. I'll show you real quick. It's an awesome little rock. Got my chair, show you a little angle it leans back on. I got a little backrest, got my gear and stuff, and some tea. Pretty awesome little setup. I am happy and learning breaks are important, so don't forget to take a break. Stay hydrated out there. So right here after lunch, I already got 3 buckets going. Already ran through the sluice box. I'm digging this hole, making a pretty decent sized ditch out of this. And I got that rock I was talking about, the face of it. I still might move that big rock, but I still have all this. So I'm gonna try to run about 6 buckets, kind of as fast as I can, and see what it looks like. And do a clean out most likely after 6 buckets. It gets pretty full pretty quick. And then keep running this spot. It's decent enough gold for how easy it is to dig, so stay tuned. Right. I've already got 4 buckets down. I'm gonna try to get this 5th one in on video to show you guys how easy the digging is so far. It's starting to get a little less, but you can see a lot of sand and crap in here. You know, it doesn't look like the best material, but it is showing gold. So let's see what I can do here. Oh yeah, this isn't gonna work, but no, it's not bad digging though. I can get 1 bucket, maybe 5 minutes. Alrighty, so after my 5th bucket, the river has slowed down a lot up here. That ripple's pretty slow. You can see my little dam area. There's water coming through the bottom, not the top anymore. So it's gotten a little lower. My sluice box isn't running quite the way I would like it to. I'm having trouble getting enough water through there, so I need to adjust it. I wanted to run 6 buckets, but I am going to clean this one up before I adjust it, because I don't want to lose any extra gold more than what I'm already losing by running the way that I'm running. So let's see what we got so far though. Some of that's gold, some of it's just rocks, but for the most part, it's a lot of gold in there. You know, for the Kern River at least. I'm happy with the V matting so far. That's just what's in the V matting. Let me get it zoomed in correctly. Here we go. So You can see some of it's gold. Yeah, pretty sure all that's gold. And then this other matting, it's squared off, edged. I don't know how much I like it. I just glued it on there, on this top section. A lot of rocks get stuck in there, but so does gold. But there it is. Check it out on the cleanup. Here's what I got after 5 buckets. I'm sure there's a little bit down at the bottom, and I panned it out quite a bit into another pan, but not too bad. Some of it's pretty chunky. Let me see if I can get a close-up. So here's a close-up on it. Pretty chunky for being flour gold. It's super small, but nonetheless, for what I've got, it's pretty chunky. I'm happy with that. Good 5 buckets. Little different. Usually it's very small flakes and smooth. This stuff seems to be a little more jagged, so hopefully we can keep up on that. About 6 hours or so, and I bet you I got enough gold to buy maybe a stick of gum, you know, a little 25-cent pack of gum. It's a lot of fun. It's not about getting the gold for the money or for the value of it. I enjoy doing it. It's a great exercise. Nothing better than be able to find gold just by digging in the ground. So pretty awesome. I'm gonna take a little breather here, and I'm gonna probably run another 5 buckets. But like I said, I gotta adjust my sluice box. So while I do that, I'm gonna take me a little swim, or a dip, not swim of course. In here it's a little sketchy over on this side, but when I get back to camp, I'm going to take my concentrates and go through those and try to get a total for you guys for the whole day. As well as there's a couple split shot weights that have some material in them. And I'm going to take those on their side and probably make a separate video for this and see if any gold got stuck in those. So if you want to watch that, you can find the link up above and I'll watch that full video. I'll show you the outcome at the end of this anyways. But stay tuned and hopefully we find some more gold and don't get stuck in the Kern River. So I've only been filling my bucket up about halfway, 3/4 of the way, because it's a little bit of a walk. I'm going to show you the walk right here, about how far it is. It's not far, but there's some rocks, you know. So it makes it a little easier with smaller buckets. So here's the walk that I walked through. You know, it's not crazy. This is going back to my dig site from my sluice box. It's not too bad, but there's a couple spots right here. To get through here, you have to pinch through this. And I'm wearing sandals now because I'm trying to go swimming again. Was wearing shoes earlier because I found a rattlesnake right at my campsite and thought I better wear pants and shoes, but ditched that when I got hot. Haven't seen no snakes, so a little step right here you have to get kind of up and over. Having a bucket through here, especially with flip-flops, little off balanced, you know. So I do about half buckets, but walk all the way to here, and here's my dig site right there. All the way back over there. That's the walk. So one of my buddies couldn't make it out here today that wanted to come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run 3 buckets of material through my sluice box. Only way I'll know that there's gold in there is through my V matting, which usually is a pretty good indication. And as long as it shows pretty decent gold, I'm not going to go through the concentrates. I'm going to bottle them up and let him pan them at home on his own time since he didn't get to make it. And hopefully he gets a good amount of gold. But where am I going to dig that from? I'm not sure yet. I might go on my hole that I've been working on, or maybe another little section that I can find along the way. You know, at least that I know there's gold in there. I don't want to give them a bunk little bucket of concrete. So it's kind of looking like I'm going to either have to run my sluice box really slow, which I don't mind doing. Let's get a couple more good buckets in. Get one more set for my buddy I told you about, and then at least one more set for myself. But I'm going to have to try. I might try to come over here. Let me go ahead and walk in the water and show you. Oh, I hope I don't drop my phone. That would suck. Anywho, so here's a little dam. A little bit of water coming over here and over there. I'm thinking I could take some of these small rocks that I kept. Like I told you, I store them up. I'm going to try to take a bunch of those and try to fill in those holes. If I could plug in those holes right here, maybe plug in on the bottom of those, and maybe right here a little bit, I could possibly keep running. But right now it's probably too slow to actually run it the way I like to run it. But I can get at least a few more loads in before the day's done. And another thing I always try to do is get any glass from my tillings pile. Any glass I find, find these. They're usually pretty smooth, but as they break, they're sharp again, So any glass I find during my sluice, while I'm running my material, or in my tailings, I take and make a little pile over here, anywhere I can get to it and keep it. Found this bottle yesterday, full of material. Took it, panned it out, nothing. Found a soda can, same thing. Cut the can open, took the dirt out, and panned it, and I found 2 pretty decent specks of gold. So next time you find a bottle, could have some treasures. Okay, so I've decided this is the hole I've been digging in this whole time, right here and over here. I run the overburden as well usually. So on this set, I'm going to do 3 pretty full buckets of what's in here, which I've been wanting to run. And I'm going to move this rock. I'm kind of scared because it's going to drop in this hole. And if there's more dirt in there I want to get, I don't think I'll be able to get it out. But I don't want that to fall over on me when I'm digging. So we'll see what happens. But my buddy's going to get 3 buckets out of here. And we won't get to see how much gold I get out of it besides the riffles. I can show you in the V-matting. But outside of that, that's what he gets, is that 3 buckets. Wish him luck. So I didn't like the material that was right here, which is fine. But I got that big rock flipped over because it was sitting right here. And I stepped on it and it started to fall, so I figured I better get it before it actually lands on me. But yeah, I moved it out of the way mostly. Most of my hole next to this rock is still exposed, and I can still dig any more out of that because there's another boulder down there, or bedrock, I'm not sure, down in here somewhere. It seemed pretty solid when I smacked it with the bar, so I think it's bedrock, which is good. I want to be able to sweep that up with my broom. But yeah, I'm gonna get this stuff that I'm standing on that was under that rock, clear off the big stuff, and then run his 3 buckets and hopefully get him a pretty decent amount of gold, at least something to play with at home. So we'll show you the V-matting here in a minute. So here we are. Everything's slowed down. I tried to dam up over there, but I got my sluice box running. I got 1 bucket so far of that material from my buddy. I got my 2nd bucket right here. I'm soaking it, running it wet because it's a slow box right now. But the material, started digging it, looks like the best material of the day. And I would have to say probably the best single bucket in my V-matting of the day. I'll show you. Let's take a look. So you can see there's gold in there. Some decent little specks, and a lot of them from 1 bucket. So with that 1 bucket, I'm thinking after 3, my buddy's gonna have a fun day panning. There's a lot of heavies, so I hope he has his magnet ready. I'm not gonna bore you with the whole run, but I am gonna throw a couple shovels, let you guys see how it's running. It's running slow, but it's running. So getting off the V-matting slowly, running down any of the rocks. I'm just picking them out by hand, making them, you know, part of my little collection over here for damming stuff up. But yeah, it's running. It's not running too bad. Just really slow. I can't run. Earlier I was just throwing shovel after shovel. I mean, just letting it run. But who knows? Maybe I'll collect more gold this way. So here's the 3rd bucket, my buddy's material, and it looks like a good bucket. Nice and full, but letting it soak a little, and I'm gonna run it. So after the 2nd bucket, doesn't seem like a whole lot more in the sluice box. Maybe I'll see if I can't figure out how to get a shot of this shot and the last sluice box shot. But I'm thinking after this bucket, it's going to be filled, if not in the sluice or the riffles, the V-matting I mean, it'll be in the sluice. So this ought to be interesting. I'm looking at this, I'm a little jealous about how good these 3 buckets turned out for my buddy here. But I'm not going to let it run very long. I'm going to get this emptied out, and you can see the V-matting, what kind of gold there is. Pretty decent up in here. Some of this is gold, a lot of it's obviously rocks, but let me see if I can find any of it in there. Not really, you know, a couple little pieces. But in here, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So I'm sure there's some in there too. So I left a little bit of material in the bucket, not even a shovel full, about a 1/4 shovel full from my little shovel here. So, you know, just a little handheld shovel. So I'm gonna run this. put it in there and bag it up for him, and once he pans it out, I'll try to get a picture and show you guys what he got. It's just a random concentrates pay dirt, I guess. If anybody's interested in getting some of that, leave a comment, message me. If you're interested, we'll figure out a way to set that up, and maybe we could do something, you know. Not looking to make money, but looking to spread the joy so we can all have fun doing this. Some of us aren't able to get out here and dig like this, and I'm willing and able, and it's a lot of fun, and I would love to spread that fun. So let me know, guys. I'll get back to you here in a bit. Stay tuned. So here's what I got. It's pretty decent amount of material. You know, it might fill up 2 Ziploc bags that I have. They're not big ones, so. But we'll see how I can get them in there if I can. And once I do, I'll show you the results of what the bags look like. I'm not going to go through any of this, so I have no idea how much gold's in there, but we know there's gold, so here we go. I was able to get it in there with the spoon and then drain it in there with some water and then drain the water. In the process, I found a couple flakes of gold. Just moving it into the bag. Of course, I got them in the bag. But yeah, this is going to be a good little bag here. So, starting to run out of daylight here. We got, I don't know, a little bit of time. Sun's up right above the mountain. I'm going to try to get 2 more buckets in from that same area. Hopefully the same hole. And see if we can't show you guys what kind of gold he has to look forward to here. So I got 2 buckets of that material I was looking at where I dug from my buddy there. And only got 2 buckets. Didn't look nearly as good, but I think there's quite a bit of gold in there. It's getting dark. I don't have any flashlights with me. They're back at camp, and I don't want to kayak in the river without light. So I'm going to load up my tools, do a clean out with my sluice box, try to get a small reveal of what I found on those 2 buckets. I'll show you guys, and I'll get back with you in a minute, and then I'll probably see you back at camp. So my 2 buckets that I ran just now, this is what I've got out of it. It's kind of hard to see. It's getting dark, so I just washed it back. There's a lot back in the bottom of my pan here. But for 2 buckets, it wasn't too bad. And I know there's some back down in here. But that's a pretty good 2 buckets. I'm going to get loaded up, go back to my campsite, and then I'll most likely go through all this tomorrow when there's daylight. And I'll show you guys the amount that I got for the day. And tomorrow, maybe I'll do a whole nother dig and make a whole nother video. Thanks for tuning in. Made it back to my camp. I'm going to go through some of the concentrates tonight, probably. It's kind of hard to do it under flashlights and stuff, so I'll most likely end up finishing it up tomorrow, and then I'll get with you guys and show you the totals tomorrow. And that does it for today's episode on Golden Eagle prospecting. Bye.